No, I don't think she's on this earth anymore.
You think Hillary Clinton is dead?
Oh, yeah, I think Hillary's been there. I do. I think Hillary's been there. I think
But so she's there right now?
no, I don't think she's on this earth anymore.
You think Hillary Clinton is dead?
Oh, yeah, I think that I don't want to get into the water too deep, but I think Hillary's been gone. I think
Because she's done some public appearances. She's tweeting.
how come she's shorter than she used to be?
Oh, so you think it's a body double?
Yeah. A lot of these people we're seeing, I think, is body doubles. I think they've already been taken care of.
Conservatives have some unhinged theories and attitudes about Democrats and the left.
I think he was the best, and I think Biden is the worst.
Trump was better than Franklin Roosevelt, who won World War II, better than Abraham Lincoln, who won the Civil War and kept the country together and freed the slaves.
That was all great and good, but this is now, and we're going through different times. We're going through a different war.
They get a lot of their misinformation and conspiracy theory from sources online. But they also have a major news network feeding them total delusions on a daily basis.
I watch Fox News.
But do you believe everything that Fox says?
Not really. Sometimes I hear stuff and it don't make no sense, but most of the time they're better than the other channels. I like OAN and Newsmax. We watch Newsmax.
I support Donald Trump because he's the greatest president in American history.
Better than Lincoln?
Better than any of them. You know why?
Better than Franklin Roosevelt, who won World War II?
And I heard all the questions you asked the last lady. I'll tell you why. Because they didn't have the flaming arrows thrown at him that Donald Trump did in his presidency. They didn't have all that thrown at him. They didn't have one
Franklin Roosevelt had the Depression thrown at him.
They didn't have one side of the country throwing everything they possibly can at him, and he still kept every promise he ever made to the American people.
Trump supporters are happy to rewrite history, fitting into their delusional narrative that Donald Trump is the best president in American history. Now, this is peculiar, considering that America's greatest feats have been the fight against conservative extremism. Considering that most of America's famed successes, the century-spanning fall of fascism, proves that the bend of history is clear. And when progressives fight, they win against the propaganda of the right. And yet, somehow, the irony is lost on the modern Republicans, who flock to fascist ideals like moths to a flame. I mean, I guess that's why they're so obsessed with conspiracy theories and body doubles. But that does not excuse their actions. And exposing the lies and hypocrisy of the right is the only way to stay loyal to the truth. Only then can we confront Republicans with the actually hard-hitting questions. Like, why are you so obsessed with body doubles?
Anybody took a Pfizer is owned by Pfizer. Anybody take a Moderna is owned by Moderna. And they're calling the species Borg Genesis. It's not even a human anymore. It's called Borg Genesis.
What? It's not even human.
The people who took the vaccine, they're not considered human anymore.
Wait, the people who got the vaccine are no longer human?
Ha! I told my 5th grade teacher that I would be a superhero.
They're actually owned, they're enslaved by Pfizer or Moderna, whoever they took the shot from. So they're public, they're their property.
People who took the vaccine are owned by Pfizer now and are not human.
Genetics has changed, so they're not human anymore. So they're a Borg Genesis that's owned by Pfizer, or they're Borg Genesis that's owned by...
And there you have it. We are in Laguna Hills talking to people. Apparently, if you've taken the vaccine, you are no longer human.
Resistance is futile.
I'm pretty much cyborg. Thank you, side effects.
Including penile vein thrombosis, which are blood clots in the penis, penile neoplasm, a malignant lesion, which are kind of lesions around the skin of the penis, which is pretty gross, penis cancer, and penile infections, as well as swelling and pain in the testicles, which Nicki Minaj said her cousin complained about and became infertile.
Yes, and I've heard many cases of this.
And it affects both sexes.
Not those side effects, I promise. Only the good ones. I don't know what these women have seen or heard since President Trump issued Operation Warp Speed after the start of the pandemic, but it couldn't have been research and studies. Now that I think of it, these two were featured in another video of mine where they said wind machines created hurricanes. Anyways, there's this game that's going to be played for a while in this country where if a high-profile celebrity, like Jamie Foxx, gets sick or even dies, then there will be a presumption that their sickness or death was due to the vaccine. Whether or not a family member or friend confirms or denies what sickness or condition or disease ailed them. When Bronny James passed out on a basketball court a few weeks ago, it was assumed by some that this was due to the vaccine, not COVID. Admittedly, you can still get COVID after getting the vaccine. We've known this. And for those that may say that this sentiment may go the other way around, from the vaccinated to the unvaccinated, well, COVID is contagious. The vaccine isn't, no matter what these two may say. Also, sudden cardiac arrest among teenage boys, especially athletes, particularly basketball players, has always happened. It's not new. With that said,
yeah.
And we have lost people because we supported the jab.
Yeah.
What do you think you would do differently?
Yeah, well, you know, everybody wanted a vaccine at that time. And I was able to do something that nobody else could have done, getting it done very, very rapidly.
May have gone from praising Trump for the vaccines to not trusting the vaccines to now questioning him about them. And for this, Donald Trump will still think he's a superhero. I wonder if these two question which side effects he got, if you know what I mean.